All right, guys, if you click that link, then you're curious about what it's like to live here in Teller County and how expensive it is to live here as well. Make sure you stay tuned to the very end. That way you get to hear all the different things that you have to think about when you're out here, and you actually get an idea of what to expect once you move here too. Stay tuned. Hey guys, this is James Dean with James Dean Mountain Real Estate and Keller Williams Client's Choice. I'm one of your top real estate agents out here in the area, and we have people moving out here all the time. So if you're thinking about coming out here to the Pikes Peak region, please give me a call, 719-304-9772. I'm looking forward to speaking to you and helping you with this big move and helping you find your dream home out here in the Pikes Peak area. Okay guys, so today we're going to be discussing what the cost of living is out here, and you get to hang out with me out here on my driveway here up in Divide and kind of get an idea of what we've got view-wise up here as well. But some of the big stuff, you know, that everybody's going to think about when they're moving to a new area, especially a town that's up in the mountains like this, is what is it going to cost me? So I'll go over and break down all the different types of costs that we have up here, and also just kind of give you an idea of what you can expect to pay. So first, we'll just talk about the home property taxes out here. Property taxes, some of the cheapest property taxes anywhere I've lived in my life, honestly. And we've owned homes all over the United States, including Hawaii. And it's not something I expected to see out here with it being such a beautiful area, especially being such a prime place for people to come and visit and vacation at. So property taxes out here, especially in Teller County, are going to be super small because you're not paying a lot of municipality taxes unless you live in Woodland Park. Might be a little bit more. I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, well, you know, Colorado charges income tax, so it's got to be worse than where I live now. And people from Texas tend to think this quite a bit. Well, let me tell you, the property taxes you guys pay in Texas, nowhere near what we probably pay in income tax out here. So when you're considering, you know, folks are paying $22,000 plus a year in property taxes in Texas, I think that heavily offsets the fact that they don't have income tax. Here in Colorado, and I'm not going to tell you what my income tax is because that's going to be based upon, you know, whatever income you have here. But the property taxes, me and my wife pay $1,600 a year on our property taxes. Not a month, a year. So that should give you a great idea of how much less property taxes are here. And you can see we've got a nice big piece of land out here. We've got horses out here and dogs and everything. So I mean, this is pretty common, you know, for the anywhere from the, you know, the 400 to the probably right around the $700,000 range on homes. You're going to be paying anywhere from that $1,600 to maybe $2,400 a year in property taxes. Big offset for anything else that might actually happen out here. So next, utilities. So during the wintertime, yeah, heating costs can get a little expensive. That's something to kind of expect because it gets pretty cold up here. When I say it gets cold, it doesn't get cold like it does in the south, that bone chilling cold. It gets that dry cold, but it's still cold, so you got to be able to heat the houses up here. So we typically pay, on an average basis during the deep part of the winter, about $300 a month on our gas bill. And we've got an electric boiler, not electric boiler, or a gas boiler that does baseboard heat. Different types of heat are going to have different costs. We got about a 2,400 square foot home also. We do not have a wood stove or an insert for our fireplaces. They're open fireplaces. Those are great ways to offset a lot of that expense for heating your home, but that's just something that you can think about later on down the road when you're looking for a home. Our electric bill, we do pay that on a budget basis, meaning they took the average of our year and broke it down per month, and that's what we pay on our electric. So our electric is typically about $250 a month. We do probably pay more than most people do. We don't have AC, so we don't have to worry about paying for AC. But in the wintertime, we do have heated runs for our dogs, heated and insulated, and those are all electric heat in there. And sometimes we're running 3 runs at a time, and so that can have an effect on the electric bill also that kind of lasts the rest of the year. But that's a sacrifice that we decided to take because that's what we wanted for our dogs, you know, so we can have them outside in the wintertime when we're not at home, and they've got a nice warm place that they can go and hang out. Some other costs. So as far as TV goes out here, most places, unless you're in downtown Woodland Park or you're up close to an actual cable running, by your property, you're going to probably have satellite or stream TV in your house for what you're going to do TV wise. So for us, we've got Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime. That's typically what we end up watching because we've got internet out here. Now, internet is a whole nother ball game. So there's all different types of internet resources out here. Most people out here in the rural areas, which is like where we are, end up doing line of sight. Some of the areas that you're going to get closer to the cities, you're going to be able to get, direct access with fiber optic or, that type of service is going to be able to run through there. And then other folks that don't have either one of those will end up using satellite. Now, we had satellite internet when we first moved out here, and let me tell you, I've heard it's gotten better, but we hated it. We absolutely hated it. It was better than nothing, but that's what we had to have while we're out here. So we ended up with HughesNet for a little while. I've heard Starlink's a lot better, but also along those lines, like at our house in particular, we don't have cell signal out here. So we had to have internet to be able to use our actual cell phones. Ended up with a landline for a little while until we had fast enough internet to be able to avoid having that landline. And we finally got line of sight in our internet blast now. So we're able to go to streaming with our TV services as well. We went away from DirecTV. Let's see, what else with the house? Trash. Trash is pretty simple. We use Teller County Waste out here, and with Teller County Waste, we pay $25 a month, roughly, and that supplies a trash can for us. It's not a bear-proof trash can, so we can't leave it outside. It's got to go in the garage when it's not trash day. But that supplies the trash can for us, as well as picks up trash once a week for us. Typically on Wednesdays is when they pick up trash for us, and yeah, that's pretty much takes care of trash. You don't have to worry about running around and dropping that stuff off at a dump or a collection site, which can get kind of expensive if you're doing that up here. I think that about covers it. Your water and so water is going to depend on where you are. Most places, like we've got a well. Some places will either have wells or they'll have cisterns out there, or they'll be hooked up to city water, as well as for septic or sewage as well. That's pretty common out here too, because we're on the septic system being out here rural, but that's not a big issue at all. So that's pretty much like your house coverages out here. Some other stuff that we can go over are basically like vehicle costs. You definitely want to be able to have a four-wheel drive vehicle out here, or all-wheel drive with the correct tires on it. Gasoline costs out here are pretty much very comparable to what they are in the Springs. There's not much change out there as well. And then we've also got grocery stores here too, as well as Walmart and Woodland Park. So they're able to help supply us, with the ability to get all of our groceries and needs up here for pretty much the same cost as it would be in the Springs. So huge benefits, obviously to some other smaller mountain towns that are further away from some larger cities, is that we've got, Woodland Park that's here with the Walmart and a Safeway and a city market there, and then some sporadic little neighborhood supermarkets as well that we can utilize. But that helps us quite a bit, and that helps offset that cost as well. So I think for the most part, I think I've covered pretty much everything you need to know for cost of living out here. It's really not bad. It's not like when my wife and I lived in Hawaii. In Hawaii, it was just really bad because of transportation. I mean, if you want to go anywhere else other than Hawaii, you're flying, half the ocean, half the Pacific to get anywhere other than Hawaii. And then gasoline prices were pretty expensive over there too, as well as milk and bread. But it's not like that at all here. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out and ask. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this little video on the cost of living here in the Teller County area. And don't forget to give me a call, as one of your top brokers out here. I would love to be able to help you guys out finding a home and finding what fits for you and what works for you as well out here. 719-304-9772. Thanks. Bye.